Hello, good morning, guys. Morning. I am so excited to be here. Good morning. How are you today? It is the first time that we're going to be broadcasting from our group, our Facebook page, the So Unique Experts. I am so excited to be here this morning and just looking forward to all of you. I'm just going to give Facebook a few minutes or a couple of minutes, to notify people and let them know that I am here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. This is the Civilized Presence, and you are in the right place at the right time. Good morning, guys. I'm just going to give us a minute just to have Facebook. I'm going to see how I can share this on my personal page. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. I just want to say that if you would like to make a comment during the series when it is live, I will not be able to see your comment right away unless you do it on my get into the group to do it. And so I am just going to share this on my personal page. Yep, I will share this to my personal page. Just give me a minute to do that. Posting. Okay, so good morning. Yes. One second. Perfect. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I have been able to do that. I hope I've been able to do that successfully. I am trying this out for the first time here in the page. Good morning. Good morning. So, hi, Esther. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so sorry, guys, that we were not here on Friday. And I was away traveling, and I had to train in a different city, and so I got in pretty late. But we'll be able to catch up this week. I am excited because this week we're going to have to do an extra session during the week, so you're not going to miss so much. Good morning. Hi, Eller. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being able to log on. Good morning, Eunice. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning, Morel. Thank you so much for joining. So, guys, I am just trying this out for the first time on my Facebook page, business page. So just in case things don't go that great, bear with me. We're in a learning process. And please comment yes in the comment box below if you can hear me clearly and if you can see me. I am so excited. It is a great day today. Happy Monday to everyone. So, like I said, welcome to the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place at the right time. For those of you that are able to log in here live, I really do appreciate you for making out time to be here. So if you can hear me clearly, please comment yes in the comment box below. I would like to be sure that I can hear you. This runs a little bit different, or that you can hear me. This runs a little bit different on the Facebook business page than on my personal page. But I'm just trying to do it from here, moving forward, because we want to be sure that we are around people, like-minded individuals like you, and it is just for us. So we have a nice private group where we can ask all the questions that we have. So if you can hear me, please say yes. Thank you, Morel, for the yes. Great. So you can have access to this content even if you're not able to log in here live. You can come back and be able to access the replay right here on our Facebook group page. Thank you so much, Eunice from Singapore, by saying yes. Now you can leave all the comments below. If you do have a question, do not hesitate to leave the question in the comment box below. I want to be able to work with all of the questions. So welcome. This is the 12th session number 12. this morning. I am so excited. Like I said, we're here every Mondays and Fridays. The time changed to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We had to change the time because this program or session is really for you, and we want to be able to serve you in the right way. So 7:30 seemed like it was a bit too early for some of us in the Eastern Zone. I was okay coming up here, but I wanted to be sure that we have access to all of our viewers, and it was a good enough time for them to get on the program. Now, today's going to kind of run differently from what we would usually have. Now, if at any time you think that there is something going on with the recording, please let me know. Like I said, we're using our Facebook page this time, and I'm seeing some strange things on the screen, but I don't want to pay attention. I want to believe that this is just going to work out really great. So this is session number 5. Wow. So last week, Friday, we were not able to be here. I'm so sorry. I was away traveling. I was training at the time, so I really couldn't be here. Quite unfortunate. I missed you guys so much. Thank you so much for all of you that had sent me messages. There was so much messages in my inbox. Seriously, I realize how much people are hooked onto this program. Thank you so much, Peter, for joining us from Kenya. Thank you, Ella from Virginia. Thank you, Morel from Montreal, Canada. I really appreciate you all. So for those of you who have never met me or do not know my name is Louisa Akaizo, and I am a certified civility master trainer. I'm a Golden Rule civility statesman and a leadership expert. So now you're asking, what does she do? I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation in helping you embrace your unique greatness and live your full potential. So that's who I am. So you are here because you have an interest in this topic, and I do believe that you have people in your network who will benefit from the information that we share here. So could you please do us a favor by sharing this video on your personal page, on your business group? We will really appreciate that. Give us all the hearts, the likes. I can see the hearts going up, Morel. Thank you so much, because Facebook loves the hearts, and we'll make this available for a lot more other people. So Kathy from Germany, thank you so much for joining. And so you can give us a wow face too. I really appreciate you guys. Wonderful group of people that we have this morning. Now, the main goal for this Facebook series is really to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations. And like I told you before, that I will not be doing this alone. I'm going to be doing this with my other colleagues and experts from all over the world, and we have been doing that. I do know that there's been a lot of questions, and people keep wondering, what is civility and how easy is it for us to be civil? Now, through these conversations, you would see that it is very easy for you to be civil. It starts with little things like being polite, saying please and thank you, and just smiling like I am doing this morning. It begins with as little as that. So during this series, we try to break it down into tiny little bits, and just for you to see that being civil is not that technical and complicated. You can do it, okay? But we have to do it together. So we are in the month of June. I am so excited. I don't know how many of you are as excited as I am. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, last month we had a 31-day civility challenge, and that was great. Now, how many of you were able to join us on that challenge, last month? I mean, it was so simple, like just giving someone a helping hand. There was so much activities. It was fun. Now, for the month of June, we're going to try to do something a little bit more different from last month. But of course, you're still going to stay civil, okay? But this month, we will be focusing on civility in the community. And in order to make this series very effective, I will appreciate you being able to leave us comments and questions because you're the main focus on this conversation. And I really want to know, what are the things that you would love to learn? What are the questions that you have in your mind? Let's be able to deal with all of this here. So, guys, I know that you're wondering, so who is the guest for today? I am the guest. So we're going to run it differently today. I am here and ready to take on all of your questions. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the topic of the day. The topic of the day, like you had seen on the flyer on the post, is civility in our community. So before we go ahead, let me share with you again what is the definition of civility. And I will be sharing the definition from civility experts. And that states that civility is a conscious awareness of the impact of one's thoughts, actions, words, and intentions on others, combined with a continuous acknowledgement of one's responsibility to ease the experience of others through restraint, kindness, non-judgment, respect, and courtesy, and a consistent effort to adopt and exhibit civil behavior as a non-negotiable point of one's character. Now, if that seems too long for you, one thing that I wanted to take away from this session is that civility is focused on people's treatment. So it is your responsibility to continuously ease the experience of other people. Learn to pay attention to other people. Learn to listen to the person next to you. Apologize earnestly if you have to. Refrain from idle complaints and accept and give constructive criticism. So last week we had Christy Enebeli, I hope I pronounced that right, and she spoke with us about time management and responsibility in children. So as I am the guest for today, I will be chatting with you about civility in the community. So I would love to take all of the questions that you might have about fostering civility in our community. The first thing I want to say is that civility is not just about being civil in your home, in the workplace, or in certain selected spots because you want to be recognized. But civility is really about building your community, so where you live. Now, before the questions gets coming, I know that some of you are wondering, why is it even important to foster civility within our community? And I'm going to explain that. Now, a community that upholds civility respects the rights of the individuals and the groups, and respects the rights of everyone within that community. Such a community, understands and considers the differences in cultures and values and religions of the people that live within that community. So such a community would be a community that pays great attention on, diversity, on dialogue, and gives respect. So people who live in such a community would get used to, or are used to, giving respect to the next person. So a community that fosters civility, would really focus on treating others the way that they want to be treated. So following the golden rule. So treat the next person like you want to be treated. So if you are in a community that is focused on fostering civility, you are really paying attention to how you can build a community that is not hostile to anyone, creating a welcoming community and celebrating the differences of the different people within the communities. Now, we do understand that, we always have to understand that in a community we have different kinds of people, like your neighbors are different from you. But one thing that I want you to take away from this session is that you have something that your neighbors do not have. And your neighbors, of course, has something that you do not have. And so together, we will build a better community. So let's think about the 4 E's philosophy, which states that everyone in every situation, at every time, gets exactly the same respect and consideration every time, not sometime, not seasonally. So you have to be focused on always doing the right thing. You have to be focused on treating the next person to you in your community the way that you want to be treated. Now, I can remember as kids, we used to just hang out and we didn't have a problem hanging around with other children. And nobody really had to tell us what was the rules for hanging out. But somehow we knew that we had to be civil. Somehow we knew that we had to treat the next person fairly. But today we hear all kinds of stories of bullying, of discrimination, of racism. I mean, what happened to all of that? We hear all kinds of stories of disrespect and treating each other badly. So we have to all focus on changing the way that we treat each other. That's the only way we're going to be able to build a community that is favorable, that is comfortable for everyone. So like I said, I'm ready to accept questions. If you have any questions, just pop it in on the comment box, because I know that this is different for everyone. But I'm just trying to set the pace for the month, because this month we are focusing on civility in the community. I do not want to give us an impression that we only have to be civil in our workplace or in our schools or around our friends. But it is important the way that you treat people 24 hours a day. The person that lives next to you, how have you been behaving with that person? So I'm still waiting for the questions to come, and I'll just go ahead to kind of elaborate on how civility can help strengthen our community or enhance the sense of our community. Okay, so now, like we had discussed from the beginning, that this session, it will be focused on creating a culture of civility in the community. Now, when we do that, yes, please, Ella does have a question. Can you post that question in the comment box below? We will be happy to. Okay, why is it important to foster civility within the community? Yes, it is very important to foster civility within the community, because if civility is the base of what we're doing in the community, then it is just going to guide us to treat each other the way that we want to be treated. And we had just spoken about the 4Es philosophy that states that we have to do this every single day. It's not going to be seasonal. It's not going to be sometimes. It's every time that you will pay attention to the next person. It's every time that you will give respect to the next person. Thank you so much, Ella. So we're just going to continue here and talking about why it is important that we, create a culture of civility in our community. Now, creating a culture of civility in our community will help to create freedom and ease amongst the members in our community, knowing that we have someone to lean on. Now, I remember so well as a young child growing up back in Africa, and we knew that we were accountable not just to our parents, but we were accountable to everybody around us. I mean, every elder, okay? There's a popular African saying that it takes a whole village to raise a child. Now, where did all of that go? We knew that everyone was interested and would support our well-being when we're growing up. So being civil, like I had said, is not just about being civil in your workplace or because you want to get a raise, being civil because you want people to acknowledge you, but civility actually does help to build the community. It enables us to be able to come together as one for the betterment of everyone. Now, I'm going to throw out some questions this morning. How involved are you in your community? How involved are you with the people around you? How involved are you to lay or give a helping hand to the less privileged? How involved are you in activities that would restore peace and calm in the community? Now, a lot of us are very good at just saying, I want this to happen in my community. I wish everyone can do this, but it's going to begin with you. It has to start with you. You have a responsibility to be able to do that. So, for example, summer is here. Yes, we have the beautiful weather outside. Now, I'm going to challenge you in the month of June that are you just going to do everything within your home and cook all these lovely, delicious meals and just share it with your family? What about inviting other people to come into your home, the less privileged? What about going out to share some food? How can you add value to the young adults in your community? We want to see the change. We want, to stop crimes and all of that. Do you know that a huge percentage of the children that drop out from school or try to join gangs do that because they lack a sense of belonging? They really would want to experience some kind of peace, some kind of love from somebody, and they do not have it. And that's what sends them outside. Yes, so Morel said, be the change you want to see in the world. Exactly. So I'm going to challenge you in the month of June that we are focusing on civility in the community. And Ella says she volunteers and organizes food drives and free capacity building and coaching sessions. Thank you so much, Ella. So we want to see more of that. If there is something in your community that you do not like, that you think has to be changed, what about you being intentional about it, taking the first step? Okay, so we're still accepting questions for those of us who are just joining right now. Hello, Juan. Thank you so much for joining us from Malaysia. I'm so happy to see you this morning. I know it is night at your time. I appreciate you. I appreciate Eunice from Singapore. Thank you so much. So like I said, it is important that the change begins with us. It is important that we are intentional. It's not going to be easy. But wake up every morning and think about what are the ways that you can add value to the people within your community. We talked about how civility will help to build a better community. We talked about how you can listen to other people's perspectives. Sometimes it's very difficult for us to listen. I have Ella. You have a lot of questions. Yes. Pop it in the comment box below. I'm here to take the questions. We still have some time. So for us to be civil, a civil community is a truly inclusive community, okay? So for us to be civil, we must be ready to include everyone in everything that we're doing. We have to treat others, everyone in the community, as people of value. Do not think that you're better than anyone in your community. It doesn't matter if you think that you earn a lot more, or you're more privileged. No, we are all the same. We are all a precious piece of a puzzle. We all have something to bring to the table that is very important. So step out in the month of June and be intentional. Improve your ability to listen to the person next to you. He has something good to say. I know it is very hard to do so. I know that we have people of diverse cultures, diverse values, diverse religions, and even perspectives, but seek to understand, no matter how difficult it might be, regardless of what you are afraid of. We have another question in the comment box by Ella. And it says, from your discussion, it simply means that building a civil community is about creating a truly inclusive community. Expand shade on this, please. Yes, Ella. So building a civil community, of course, is really focused on creating and truly inclusive community. The ability to listen, the ability to respect other people's cultures, the ability to respect other people's values, paying attention to the next person. Do not think about the skin color. Do not think about the difference in religion. They have something great. Sometimes we are so worried about the fear of the unknown. And I will give you an example, and I know that it can be tough. Because, for example, if you have a friend, okay, and your friend, you came together as friends because you agree on certain things and you think this is the best person that understands me. I love her very much. Or, for example, Eunice is my friend and she's such a wonderful person and I care so much about Eunice. Now, at some time in your life, maybe you might have misunderstanding with Eunice. It's going to happen. But you take the pain to try to settle the differences, okay? And that's because you're friends. Now, when you look at people who are total strangers to you, so members of the community who you do not even know, who are total strangers to you, you have to be intentional to be able to do this. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I want you to know something, that you have to be intentional to protect your neighbor. Okay, think about that neighbor that is next to you that you've never ever spoken with. Now, if you want to live in a thoughtful community, it has to begin with you. You have to make sure that other people around you think the same way. Because if you have people in your community who feel that the community is actually working against them, or they are not happy, or they are maltreated, you are not going to achieve that peace and harmony in your community. So it is better for you to be civil. It is better for you to open up dialogue. It is better for you to be accepting, embrace other people and just find out what is going on with them. How can you work together? I know some people are hitting themselves and I've never spoken to my neighbor before. Yes, this is a challenge. That's why we call it a challenge. And that's what we're going to be doing for the month of June. I need you to be able to step out of your comfort zone. It's not going to be easy, guys. Yes, Louisa is not going to be this nice this month, but we have to do this together. You have to be able to stretch out of your comfort zone. You have been living in that community for 15 years. You've never said hello to anybody. I want you to do things differently this summer. I want you to be able to invite other people to your space. I want you to stop by and drop a basket of fruits. I want you to even say hello to the next person. I want you to get involved with the community, local community center, and find out what are they doing. I want you to check with the younger generation around you. The change must begin with you. The change must start from your home. What are those things that you know that you have that will be beneficial to the people next to you? The things that we do affects the younger generation. The things that we do has an indelible impact on our children, on the people next to us. The way that we treat the next person, the way that we speak, the tone of our voice, our emotions. We have to be a good example every single day of our life. It is our responsibility to ease the experience of other people every single day. Nobody is going to do it. Your children are not going to learn it from somebody else. They have to learn it from you. So the ability for you to be civil is very important. It's very critical. It's not a matter of choice. It's not something that you're going to do today and forget to do tomorrow. It's not going to be out of choice. And I know that you're saying to yourself, and you're like, oh, Louisa, is this really possible? I know it's not going to be easy. I said so from the beginning. But we have to be intentional. We can do it. We can do it. If it is just one person that you're adding value to every single day, and stop making judgment and distinctions of this is me, this is my thing, this is who I am, I do not want to work with other people, and stop doing the me, we thing, and we would be able to create a much better community and world. And it begins with us. It begins with the tiny little steps that we take every single day. Now, I'm going to share with you a few tips that can help because I want us, like I said, I want us to be intentional in the month of June to try out something. I want to get a message in my inbox saying that this is what I tried, Louisa. I was able to share something with the next neighbor. I was able to talk to my neighbor's child. I was able to, contribute and be that I want us to be able to do in the month of June together. So there are certain factors that will be able to help us to do this. The first thing that I said is that we must be intentional about this. We need to create a plan with a purpose for community betterment. We need to know that this is what I'm doing. Step out. Know that you have to be able to add value to somebody. Something that you've never done before. Another thing that I wanted to do is we must view everyone in positive terms. Do not write off people in your community. Do not label people and say that these ones are not worthy of me talking to or of me working with. You don't have any right to do that. We are all the same. So be able to view all of them in positive terms. Another thing that I want you to do is that, we have to develop a common language. Now, if I do not think that you're treating me fairly, if I do not think that you care about me, I am not going to listen to you. So it's going to have to begin with you. The first thing you have to do is you have to change in terms of people's treatment. How do you treat the people around? Let them notice the change. Let people want to be around you. Okay? So the change must begin with you. And I know that we have to be very realistic that, of course, this is change. This is new. It's never going to be easy. But just kind of value the process. Enjoy the process. Hello, Alice. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're here in the U.S. I'm not Minnesota. Thank you so much for joining us. So we have to appreciate the process. Okay, it's going to take time. It's okay if you're working with one person a day. That's okay. And record it and, be intentional about it. And remember that we all have a shared humanity. It is easy for us to do things together as one than for us to disagree with each other. So step out in the month of June and just be intentional. Add value to the people around you. Just be intentional in your community. Do that thing that you've never done before. Sorry, this morning I have so much calls that I just jumping in and trying to disturb this wonderful topic. But guys, I am so happy that you were able to join us on this broadcast. For those of you who are just logging on, this is the Civilized Presence, and we just had a chat about how we can foster civility in our community this month of June. So the month of June, we're going to be working on community engagement using civility. Guys, we can do it together. We are going to work with how we can be civil in our community, at home, in the hospitals, in the schools. We have great experts who will be talking to us this month. And I just thought I was just going to come up here as the first speaker for the month of June and just encourage us to get out there and be intentional about community engagement. So thank you so much for all of the questions that you've popped into the comment box. And for those of you who would be meeting us on a replay, please make sure that you type in replay in the comment below and do not hesitate to leave your questions. I would be happy to answer them. If you have any challenge or if there's something else that you might want to ask me, you have questions, just send it to me on my inbox in the comment below. I would be happy to deal with this. Together, we can do this. So thank you so much, guys. We are at the top of the hour and we will see you same time on Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much. Bye for now.